Hello everyone and welcome to the AOR GT3 League Season 9 Race 7. What a mouthful, and as you can see we're at Zhuhei. We've qualified in 7th position, my teammate just ahead of me in 6th on my left. We've got the Ginetta in front of Murphy. It was an alright qualifying, it wasn't the greatest, but again, as I say in all these videos, I run default setup. Unlike most of the other guys, we've actually just finished round 9 in terms of the races, so we need to get race 8 up, which is amazing, and race 9 not so amazing, but we'll get to that in that video. Here we go as we prep for the race. You can see how close all the cars are as we get going now, and as we begin the race you can see Iceman is on my left, and Iceman has very low downforce in all of his setups. So he's going to be very quick straight away. So we're going to try and keep to the inside. We've got to give room on the outside, of course, as we come through this first corner. Now, I believe he gets a run on my teammate here and doesn't realise that I'm there. Just hits me there. That wasn't intentional. As you see, he pulls back in. I give him just enough room on the outside, but I think Iceman does let me go a little bit there. But I give him room on the inside. Just slight contact again there, going into the braking zone. Brakes a little cold, just need to calm down a little bit, but we know Iceman races clean, so we know these are just mistakes. As we continue racing now in towards this right hander, we've got a little bit now to catch up to everybody else up front here, but we catch up pretty quick. 3 tenths down, 4 tenths down on Nostalrich at the moment. Again here I'm just racing for fun, to be honest. There's no way I can win the championship, and the Ferrari's a bit too strong in general. I think in this race actually is the first race I used my Fanatec CSL Elite wheel on Project Cars 2, and I also spent only 20 minutes learning the load cell. I used the load cell in this race. Load cell is interesting because you can just go instant 100%, but I struggle with the brake a little bit. As you see there, I just lose out to Iceman, and we're side by side as we head towards the last corner. I am struggling with that brake, as I've just lobbed it in. I've never used the load cell before, so you got to get used to these things, and it's really, really hard. Iceman gets the inside then. I just lose the rear end a little bit here, so this is going to cost me a lot of positions. There goes 8th, there goes 9th. And who's next? We got 2 Desert Pack now coming on the left hand side. Then we got Tidgney behind as well. So as we come into this first corner, we're going to try and keep to the inside. So 2 Desert Pack gives me room on the inside, but he's got a brilliant run out of that corner. So we continue racing, and we're ahead of Tidgney now. So we lost a few positions there. I've no idea where I was now. 7th, and now I'm back to 11th. So not too bad, even though that was a mistake. We'll continue racing. Wow, right, okay, as you probably see by the video length, this is a nutty race. So we're just going to keep going with the flow in this race. I think we watched the first 6 laps and then we'll jump to more highlights. I see Tidgney hits me there. I'm not sure why he hit me, but he hit me. Maybe he wasn't prepared that that's the way you take the corner. I don't know, he hits me. But he hits me a few times during this opener, and you'll start to see me get a little bit frustrated by it. Because there's no need for it. You can't accelerate into a car that's in front. It's up to them to choose the speed. As you just see Zal just go wide there on the exit of that turn, and now we'll catch up to 2 Desert Pack as well. I love these 0 altitude tracks, very neutral tracks, means you can actually have good races. As we come out this corner very nicely, and we're right behind 2 Desert Pack here as we head towards the last corner. And we're now thinking where we can actually overtake. Because remember, default setup means we're running a lot higher downforce than these guys. A lot of them run low downforce. Let's say Iceman at Road America was running 2.2. I'm at 2.6 here. So the rear really pushing down, causing a lot of drag. As you can see, I'm in the slipstream here. I am gaining. And I tried to go late on the brakes to try and go around the outside. Doesn't quite work at the moment. I did try my best there, but doesn't work. So 2 Desert Pack stays in front at the moment as we head towards the left-hander now. This is a good corner, so I tried to sort of do the cutback, try and force him to take a really tight line to then do an even better cutback on the exit. Don't quite manage it. Runs a little bit wide there, but that's fair enough. It's an overtaking move. I'm not too bad about that. As we continue racing now, we're going to try and go for the inside again here towards the right-hander. We're late on the brakes. Do we make it? Tidgney absolutely slams into me again on that corner. Really frustrating. I have no idea how I've still got 0 damage, by the way. That's unbelievable after that massive hit. But even so, we're racing. 2 Desert Pack on our inside, so we've got to be careful of that as we come into the braking zone. So I give him room. Can't fully tell where he's at the moment. Again, we're side by side into this left-hander. This is very sketchy stuff. we make it side by side. Look at that, and we're actually about to go 3 wide. Look at that on the TV camera. Hoo-hoo! Here we go as we head towards the last corner. Who's going to have the inside? Who's going to... Well, look at that. 2 tiers at the pack runs a little bit wide. I think Tidgney contacts 2 tiers at the pack a little bit. We're now on the inside as we head towards the last corner. 3 wide into that corner. That's a bit nuts, isn't it? As we head there now. So Tidgney's got a bit of a run on the left hand side because of the slipstream. But if I keep this angle, it should be all fine. In here we go. Give him room on the outside. Tidgney runs too wide. We keep that position. 11th position, still ours at the moment. However, Nick Meadow is now catching us up as he's got a good run because we were compromised on the last corner. So it gets a good run in that GTR. Of course, the GTR is the beast, so it does go well on straights, as you expect in this. As we come around that corner, we're still side by side. I'm just about ahead here, so I can come across and take my normal racing line into this left-hander. As we come into the braking zone now, we just run a bit too wide there. Had to slow ourselves down massively, so it's compromised us a lot here. And Nick Meadow probably going to go for the move, as we're probably going to have to go defensive. Do we go defensive? We don't, but Nick Meadow does go for the moves. We've got to give room on the inside, which we do. As we come out of this corner, again we're side by side. Nick Meadow gives me enough room on the exits. You can see the gaggle of cars there behind us. Absolutely loads of them, all different manufacturers as well, which is good. As we head towards this left-hander now, into the braking zone. Into the braking zone. Ooh. Nick Meadow just gets a bit of lag there as well, which is you've got to be a bit wary of that, a bit scary. So Nick Meadow just runs a little bit wide here. We're going to have a run on him, so he goes defensive. I'm going to go to the left hand side as we come into this right hander. So trying to do a move around here is very, very risky, and Nick Meadow sort of hits me off there, and I'm not sure why. I'm still not sure why now even. I'm not sure whether he lagged or anything like that, but knocks me off here. So I've dropped now down to 18th position. So you can see why this video is very long. You just see Steve go for a move on the inside. Gives me room on the exit, which is nice. And I keep the momentum there, so I keep going. He's going to come under attack from Poppleton. As I say, I'm down to 18th, so you can see why this video is now 20 odd minutes in length. Because we've got a lot of overtaking to do, so this should be fun, and trust me, it is fun. Up front you just see Tidgney have contact with Rilo, I think that is. Kind of expected after the constant hits I've got 1 damage from the hit. I think that's from Nick Meadow. So we have damage, so we're gonna have to adapt to that damage and really push ourselves forward. We advance a few laps later and we're up right behind Domino at this point, and the AMG is ridiculously fast. So we're going to have to try and think of a way to get round. Now I think there's been a recent patch, and I think this was when it first hit, in the fact that the cars had been evened up a little bit. So the AMG had suddenly become a little bit better. The Ferrari was a little bit worse at 0 altitude tracks. So it does make for some good racing. You just see Domino there just makes a little bit of a mistake, and we give him room to come back on track. Going through here, of course we're carrying a bit more downforce, so we can get good runs through that corner on people, because we can go flat out where people have to brake and stuff. But we've got to be careful of that as well as we go towards the outside here. We have been battling Domino for a few laps, but I didn't put everything in, otherwise this would be like a 40-minute video, not necessarily just a 20-minute video. And I'm not sure how much you want to see. Do you want to see a whole race sometimes, or do you just want to see the ultra highlights like we have here? Side by side into the last corner we go, and we are still side by side. So obviously Domino's going to have a bit more power on this straight, even though I've got the better run out the corner. Continue on, cross on the line, start lap number 10. You just see Domino there, gets ahead here, but still gives me room on the left hand side, which is very nice of him. As we come through the first corner, we're still side by. Look at this is epic racing. This is good clean racing. As we continue on now, we've got the slight right and then into the left, but Domino just gives it up there, so I get that position up to 15th position now. As we continue on and we advance a bit further on, we're not close to Tex Wheeler yet, but we have been catching a little bit. However, look on the left hand side of the circuit as we come around this last corner. You see a Janetta, and it's actually Murphy, and he's actually DC'd unfortunately, so we get another position. We'll take it, but unfortunate for Murphy to DC there. And now we've caught up to Tex Wheeler. So again, we're going to have to think about where we can overtake the Porsche here. Now the Porsche is not as fast as other cars on the straight, so we can be a bit more, we can get in the slipstream and be a bit more competitive and look for different opportunities where we couldn't versus the AMG. I mean, that side by side stuff the half a lap at least was amazing racing. So fair play, Domino, if you're watching. As we come through here again, look, you can see the run I can get on people. So I go to the left, take Wheeler to the right hand side as we head towards the right hander. Again, trying to go around the outside here. It's going to be the best place for me to overtake because I've got more downforce. Just lose the rear a little bit there. Tex Wheeler's going to have a bit more of an advantage. Going to have the inside for this last corner. I think he's actually pulling away a little bit on that right hand side, so I've got to be careful. As we come in here, still side by side, and Tex Wheeler, yeah, we're still side by I'm just side by side with everybody in this race, but I hope you're enjoying it. So Tex Wheeler does get the advantage there and pulls back across where Domino didn't. So again, we're going to have to work at this. We've got to get him on a corner. You just see he makes a little bit of a mistake there, so I'm going to try and go down the inside, but she's going to have a bit more power, so I'm going to have to come back across to take a natural line through here. We look again to the left hand side, but come back across. It's not really an overtaking place, it's more a place to put pressure on to force them into a mistake rather than actually getting a place there yourself. As we continue racing, and again, we're looking for places. So this corner's okay, but it's really the corner I mentioned when we get on the other back straight where you can really attack people, and that's where I'm going to go for it again. As we continue on now, so obviously Tex Wheeler's got a bit of an advantage here, but we can use the slipstream to keep up, which is nice here. As I say, this track is low, so we can keep up. We have no difficulty, and the Porsche is an NA car as well, so we're both NA. It's kind of nice. Through here we go. You just see the little advantage I have there because of the downforce. Tex Wheeler has to go defensive again. I go to the left hand side as now we head towards this right hander, and Tex Wheeler gives it up at this time. So through we go into 13th place, and you can see there's lots of cars ahead of us, and we advance a little bit further. 3 laps on, lap number 16 now. We're not even halfway through the race, and we've already had some epic action. So coming into this last corner, you just see my teammates up ahead, so he's had a bit of an issue as well. I think that was with Murphy when Murphy DT'd. Just loses the rear end there, so I'm going to just quickly get past. It'll flash me as well, just say hi, and then we continue racing, because we want to push on together as a team. GT Aces. That's not what GTA stands for, by the way, but that's our name, because obviously 5 Aces and GTA Racing, we combined it into that. Kind of nice. But we advanced a little bit further on, next lap in fact. We just see Oblitor and Andrex in front of us. So Andrex goes defensive against Oblitor, or lets him go actually. Looks like he let him go there, but it allows us to catch up a little bit more here as we accelerate out that last corner. Now we're in the battle. So we've got a Lamborghini and a BMW M6. Tricky with the M6. The M6 is very powerful. It's like the GTR, it's a bit of a beast. Of course, turbocharged as well. So on the higher tracks, it's really powerful car. As we exit that last corner, what's Oblitor going to do? He goes to the right hand side, so he's got a slowdown of some kind. So I'm now behind Andrex, and I hear on Discord, Nostalrich, I'll let you go. Now I know I'm not Nostalrich, so I think, okay, I'll take it anyway. So he lets me through, and then a couple of laps later he realises I wasn't Nostalrich, but at that point he's let me go. It's racing at the end of the day. I'm going to push on. So up to 10th place, so we were down to 18th I think at one point. Back up to 10th place, so we're making some good progress here. Next up is going to be Nick Meadow, and we advanced a lot further in the race. Took a long time to catch up to Nick Meadow, but wait until you see this battle. So you can just see Nostalrich as well has overtaken Andrex and Oblitor. So Nick Meadow is going to have a double Audi attack, and this is where it gets exciting, because we've got 2 Audis and we can push like hell to try and get past Nick Meadow. And we've got 2 different strategies. I've got more downforce. Nostalrich has an actual setup, so he has slightly less downforce. So if I don't work, maybe he can get past. But let's see what I can do first as we accelerate. We're so close to this Nissan now, through this right-hander. Again, I'm looking for corners here where I can really take advantage of the downforce that I've got, because I'm not going to beat him on a straight. Through we go. No problem at all. Just ran a little tiny bit wide there. Perhaps should have let off a little bit. Obviously no mistake, because I took that corner very slow anyway. So yeah, just a little mistake there, as you just see the rear end of that GTR go. So I know automatically at that point he's struggling on the brakes in the slow speed corners, so I can really push on. As you see, we're right behind him now. We can look to try and make a move if we identify where he's going, but we're too far back at the moment, so we just stay tight. We're going to put a lot of pressure on him at this point. We want to get past as fast as we can. There's potential that maybe we could catch Zal if we get past. There's 12 laps to go. If we get past quick enough, there is that, as I say, there is that potential there. Nick Meadow goes defensive again. So I am still going to try and look for that outside move, because I assume it wasn't intentional before, but even so, it's a bit frustrating being knocked off the track like that. As we continue on, and look how close we are. I try and race close as I can, and I can judge where people are going to brake for the most part, which is why I can get so close. I have mentioned this in videos in the past. If you're right behind somebody and you're a tenth behind, even if you just brake that tiny bit earlier, but 70%, you're already on the brakes, there's no travel time on the pedal, and you can be as close as you want to them. It's just see Nick Meadow makes a mistake into that first corner. Look, we're trying to look for the inside, we can't just get it, just blocked it off there. Look how close we are now as we go into this right-hander, and then we've got the left. Nick Meadow doesn't go defensive here. Oh, it's kind of a tiny bit, but I wouldn't call it defensive that much. Through we go, we absolutely nail that corner this time, and we've got a good run on Nick Meadow here. So we're going to look into the braking zone, I think, here. As he goes to the left, we're going to show our nose here because we know we lost it there last time. Look at that, we just have enough room. Audi side space, let's go. But the GTR is good on the straights, isn't it? So we can't do much here because the GTR is going to accelerate past. But can we go around the outside? That's a question. No, Nick Meadow brakes very late there, so we're going to have to come in behind. There's Dowich behind me as well. That's one nice thing about having your teammate behind you. You know he's not going to attack you while you're attacking. As you see, we get a good run here. Nick Meadow uses all the track there. I go to the left hand side. I've got a good run here. I'm going to try it and hope that it wasn't intentional last time. Round we go. Just lose the rear a little bit there. Bit unfortunate, so I let off here, let my teammate go. I made a mistake, flash him over. Let's go on with the racing. This is what I mean, this is what I love. Teammates, double attack. One can have a go, then the other can have a go, and we can keep going until we get past Nick Meadow. As you see, Nick Meadow just runs slightly wide again. I run slightly wide this time. Lost a little bit ground there, just letting the Starrich go. But Nick Meadow going full defensive here, and that's how the Starrich can attack, because he's got slightly less downforce, gets a bit more speed on the straights, but he just touches the grass in the braking zone, just runs slightly wide, so I'm now back in front again. My turn to have a go again. So we're going to push on to catch up to Nick Meadow as fast as we possibly can, because we are slightly down, half a second down as we approach this left-hander. You can see how fast we do this time. There we go, nice and fine, and we're already catching up here, and we're going to catch up in this braking zone, of course, because this is where Nick Meadow is struggling. As we come towards it now, watch how much we catch up. Nearly T-bone him, but there you go. You see how we gained 3 attempts there just in that one corner. We know we're strong in the braking zone there, so that's going to be our key area where we want to overtake, or the last corner, of course, because we're good there as well. Just this entire section actually, but into the left we go. And you can see we're getting closer, closer, closer. We absolutely nail that line there. Just run slightly wide. So Nick Meadow keeping that position for now. You can see we're up on our time as well. So you know we're pushing when we're up on our time like that. Into the right-hander. He keeps it tight this time. Can't do anything about that as we continue racing. And heading towards the last corner. Oh, this is so awesome, this race, honestly. I really enjoyed this battle. This is one of my favourite battles I've had in Project Cars 2 so far. Just because I'm having to think about where to overtake, because a lot of the time in racing you just get slipstream on the straight like here and you just overtake and you fly by and that's the move done. This time I'm having to think so hard, where can I overtake, what's his weaknesses, what are my strengths, where can I push him to make a mistake. I've got my teammate behind me who potentially can be used in that strategy. He makes a move, I can follow him through. Oh, it's such good fun. And I really did enjoy this, especially after the incident earlier on. This was great fun. So into the left we go. You just see Nick Meadow lose the rear end a little bit there. And we are close now. We gained 3 attempts here last time in the sector, remember. And as we go through the right hand, I just noticed I was only 1,000th down on my sector time there. In we go. Does he lose it again? He does lose the rear again slightly. Let's go for it. Round 2. Here we go. As we accelerate out. GTR is going to beat us down the straight, of course, but it's got to give us room. You've got to always remember that. If you're alongside, it's got to give you room. Try and brake later. Doesn't quite work out, so Nick Meadow's got the inside. My teammate comes in behind, but he runs slightly wide there. Look, he missed the curve completely. Runs wide here, so I'm going to have a run on him. But he comes across there. It kind of stops me going for that move. Didn't like that a little bit because I'd already got the run, but even so. Into the right-hander. Look how close we are, but we lose the rear end. So I'm thinking at this point, right, my teammate can have a go again. So I'll let off. He goes. I pull in behind. time for Nostalrich to have a go. Let's see what Nostalrich can do. Obviously I'm going to lose a little bit of time just getting back up to speed because Nimido's obviously quick in a straight because of the GTR. Nostalrich has got slightly less downforce, so I just need that little bit of oomph to get back in there. As you see on the top 3, by the way, Fab Iceman up to 3rd. Obviously we started next to him, so potentially we could have been there. Who knows? Into the right-hander we go. Doesn't make the mistake this time, Nostalrich. And we're going to keep pushing on, trying to get as close as we can. I obviously don't want to push Nostalrich too much, so I'll keep a certain gap. But I want Nostalrich to get as close as he can, try and make that move. But I just need to be close enough that if he does make the move, I can follow. Just lose a really little bit there on exits. Of course, we're trying to be clean, which is why we're kind of oversteering a little bit in that corner to make sure we don't run wide. Because cuts are a big thing in AOR. If you go over the white lines consistently, you will get a penalty. And that's a big thing next race, so do keep an eye out for that race. It's at Zolder, so you can guess what's going to happen there if you haven't already seen the live stream. But we're here at Zhuhei. What is Nostalrich going to do? He's right behind him there. Oh, nearly rear ends him there. Through this left-hander. Then we got this left-hander where we're strong, but we've got a bit of dirty air this time, so we're going to run slightly wide. There we go. As we push on. Look at Nostalrich accelerate there away. Doesn't quite have the... Oh, I didn't realise he went for the move there. That's very close. Obviously showing his nose, trying to scan Nimido a little bit, trying to get these positions. Obviously if Nimido makes a mistake, we both go through. The team gains overall 2 positions. So into this right-hander. And this is when Nostalrich is going to have a go, surely. Surely he's going to have a go. He's going to have to slipstream. Is he close enough? Looking at the times at the bottom right, he's not actually close enough, but he could be pulling that gap in. Nope, not close enough. So into the first corner we go. Both get through cleanly. I get through nearly clean. Look at that oversteer moment. But we can't have too many of those. We've got to keep up here as we accelerate on. Obviously, if you look at the map, we're miles on our own here. It's just us 3 having this big battle. Audi R8 versus GTR. Just run slightly wide there. Another mistakes. That's 2 we've done. We're going to be careful of that. Just the tyres obviously just wearing down now, and of getting colder as well because the track is getting darker. This was in the evening. As you've seen, Nostalrich goes on the inside, tries to move where I did, but he's going to have the slipstream here on Nimido as we head towards the left-hander. Let's see what happens up front. He's going to go for it. He does go for it. Slams on the brakes. There's contact. Nimido spins round. Nostalrich waits up for Nimido, and I'll take both positions. You're probably wondering why I didn't wait there. Now the only reason I didn't wait, because I would have waited in most situations, because you know, we did gain an advantage, was because of the first incident where I got knocked off and lost 7 positions. I thought, you know, I've lost a lot there, and you know, Nimido didn't wait for me. I guess it wasn't intentional or whatever, but in that situation, I'm going to take that disadvantage slightly back. Obviously, it's not as much, but at least I gained something back from that. Even so, this is last lap, as you can guess by the race complete, and we head towards the line. So I hope you enjoyed that race. A very long video, very long for me anyway, and you can see the times there. So congratulations, Zhuhei, Popsy and Iceman for top 3. I say I hope you enjoyed that video. My logo's there if you want to subscribe. There's another video playlist there if you want to watch another race. Obviously all the AOR races are going to be on here, but I will see you next time. I'm not sure what video's next, probably Crash, or it could be Zolder or a car profile, who knows. But thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.